Hello friend, so this reading is for all earth signs for the month of July. This is a psychic reading. It's a general reading for all earth signs. So if your sun sign is earth, if your rising sign is earth, this video is for you and for those who are intuitively guided. So if you happen to click on this video, it is very probable that there are messages in this for you. Feel into your own gut about what messages resonate with you. You'll know, okay? So I have to say, for the month of July, there's such an important thing that we're focusing on here, that is accepting everything in its right time. Okay. Oh my gosh. So as I'm saying that, I also have to just throw this out there for those of you who are listening. There's such an emphasis on different dimensions, okay? So there's time on earth, there's time in spirit, and as I say that, it's like spirit time, which is there's no time. There's no time. Time is more vertical time. These are the things that are coming up for you in the month of July. Existential questions like what is time is really important, because you've been feeling like the clock is running out. But you have to know within yourself that everything in its own divine time is happening for you. You have to have that belief. You have to know that there's enough time to accomplish the things in yourself that you want to accomplish. And there's things outside of yourself that you would like to see in your life. So I'm talking to single earth signs as well, because I know this comes up. Okay, and I'm talking to earth signs who are in a relationship that are having a rocky waters happening. Okay, which is my symbol that I get, where it's a difficult time, but this is a long relationship. This is a love relationship. This is one that is going to test the time, stand the time. Oh my gosh, and it's. I have to give you the message about that relationship is like you have to laugh at certain things that have gone on between the two of you, because you have to laugh. I just am getting that sense. You guys have to get out and laugh together again. And you will be able to do that. I see that happening this month for you. I just have to say that. For the single earth signs that are listening, I really feel relationship-wise the most important thing is just belief in love, that it can happen for you. Okay, this is the most important thing, because I see it for you. I know it comes up for you, because the essence of a romantic love relationship is there. It's within your aura already. You've already manifested it. You just haven't seen the physical manifestation. If it makes sense to you, you've put that intent out there. Many of you have been going through this period very single for 3 years. It keeps feeling like very single for 3 years, okay? So I'm talking to the people who really haven't had a relationship for that amount of time. You are especially coming out of that cycle. There's new love on the horizon. Of course, it sounds so cliche, but I have to say it because love is coming up for you, and it's almost like you're superstitious about it and you don't want to jinx it by talking about it, but it's perfectly fine to express that that's what you want in your life. And like in the general reading, don't let the goal be your distraction from what's going on in the meantime. In the meantime, you have had to recognize synchronicities in your life. You have had to recognize that you are a light being having a physical incarnation. So I'm really talking to earth signs that have really had their spiritual awakening, and people who have left their Saturn return or gone through or going through Saturn return. So I'm talking to people who have gone through the period of 28 to 32. That's coming up. So you're coming out of that period, and you're recognizing yourself as a light being first, as that's who I am. There's no words for who I am. That's really important. I can't really define who I am, but I have a deeper knowing now than I did before, that it's not something that I can label, and it's not necessarily as down to earth, earthy as we are, as physically in tune as earth signs are with literally earth. You have no words for who you really are, and this can be a challenge in the physical realm, okay? You're finding that this can be a real challenge for you, because the world is asking you to define who you are. You have a better sense of it, but it's like, doesn't seem like it's the ultimate truth when you try to do that. You are still recognizing your lightness, and that is why you're having a challenge of defining on the physical level what it is you are, okay? I just have to say that because we're talking about a lot of personal identity, complex subjects here. Like all signs, what you're going through in July, internal. It's very internal versus external factors happening to you, kind of thing. All of your obstacles are way more internal, okay? So that definitely, listen to the general reading so you can definitely incorporate more in depth about what's going on inside. And knowing that you're not alone is really important, because you have been judging yourselves so harshly. Okay, and I want to say that I have to just put this as for a few of you. You know who you are. A few of you have been taking like unnecessary risks, or being like really risky. I'm going to say with your emotion, with your own heart, and unnecessary risks. I'm going to say with your heart, but I also want to say just financially, I just have been like throwing money to the wind kind of thing. This is for the few of you who have been doing that. And I want to say that feels that's unlike you, kind of, but I feel that you were kind of in this stoop or slumbery feeling and wanting to, this has a lot to do with the ones who are single, okay? Because I feel like I want to present myself a certain way to the world, I want a relationship, I feel like I've been spending a little bit too much money, that I haven't, like, rationed it as I usually would. Something like that is going on, where it's like I'm living beyond my means. So you want to reel that in a little bit, and I know you know that, and it's not like you, and it's not something that continues for you, and you know that. So it's so important not to judge yourself and shame yourself, but to put those two and two together. You have maybe yet to realize why you're spending compulsively. It has a lot to do with this feeling of lack of love in my life. And I have to tell the people who are feeling a lack of love in their lives to go and reflect on all of the people who love you dearly in your life. Even if it's one or two people, reflect on them, send them gratitude, send spirit gratitude for having those connections in your life. We don't take any kind of love for granted, because I want it this way, and I have a preference for this kind of love. It's really important to show appreciation for all that you do have, when manifesting, because I want to say the Lover's idea is coming up for you very much. You're still believing that there's someone else who's going to complete you in many ways. You're going to feel like that person is coming in to finish the job. That is not at all the case, and it's really important that you change your perspective on that, because that person comes into your life with love for you. And let's see, the more that you have recognized that the timing is going to be perfect before that person comes in, the more you can really just enjoy each other versus trying to mold this person to the one who you were hoping for. Because it's not the one that you were hoping for that comes. It's really the one who you need who comes. There's something I have to tell you about being fluid. There's such an energy that is calling you about fluidity and just letting things roll the way that they're going to roll, and letting go of control, which I have a sense for you earth signs, that can be difficult for you. And it is the reason why you are so organized and so, oh my gosh, to the T about everything. And that has gotten you so far. And you are being called to be more like the ocean and the ocean tides, and flowing with the ocean and the ocean tides. It's such a spiritual moment for you. It's like, I want to say it's, the colors that I have for you are purple, indigo, and interestingly enough, black and white, okay? Okay, this is an important thing why black and white is coming up, because I want to tell you that for you, it's really important that you become very discerning about what you give your time to and who you give your time to and your heart to. And that you can simplifying your life this way is going to help you very much. And for the most part, you're such a wonderful being where you can see the positive force in anything that comes into your life. So you accept that as it is, but you actually don't have the capacity to accept everything that comes in. You're being called to be discerning with what comes in and saying yes and no, but not maybe, and definitely yes and definitely no. That's so important with this black and white feeling, because that's for you this month. That's for you to know, to do, to say. Don't let things be wishy-washy. Don't let things stay in a gray area. Even with making plans with people, saying I don't know, just get back to them with a yes or no. Be as honest as you can with yourself, and stop worrying so much about what the results of your telling the truth are going to be. Just try to be honest with yourself first. The purple it's just a spirit. It's spirit. It's a spiritual moment for you in July. So this is what it's about going internally versus external situations. So anytime that you feel yourself mulling over external situations, whether it be in the news, although the news is very personal, I'm not saying that, but when things that supposedly happen to you versus what's going on within you, that kind of thing. So make sure that you're seeing the connection about what's happening to you and what's inside of you. That's so important, and that's what, so I even feel like meditating on the color purple, surrounding yourself with the color purple is really important for you this month, and amethyst, getting in touch with your crown chakra, letting spirit in to help you make these tough decisions, because I want to say that black and white is not easy for you. It's so hard to say no, okay? But that's what you're being called to do, and it's not spiritual. It is spiritual to have boundaries, and that's what we're learning, and that's what we're learning as a culture and a generation. We're learning that. We have not seen that demonstrated. We haven't seen boundaries demonstrated in such a way that we're being called to create boundaries. So this is deep internal work within ourselves. But like, as I'm saying that, I'm like, that there's also role models for you who you do look up to. Women in particular have a hard time with this, and I want to say there are women who have been very outspoken about how they've said no to things. Those are your women, because those are the ones who you have to mirror, you know, not everything about them, but that kind of attitude of I just say no when I don't want to do something, I just say no. Well, without giving a reason. That's your spirit guide on earth, okay? The green is the heart space, and I feel that that's coming through, that love. Okay, and I also want to say that the green in the heart space is small right now. It's like I'm afraid to give love in, okay, I'm afraid to give of myself. I'm afraid to give my heart and share my heart. So that's coming up a little bit, and because it's like when I give my heart, I feel like it's getting stabbed, you know, and that's been the case in the past. And I just have to say, it's really important to keep your heart open and be discerning. So you're being called into that paradox, because you can't feel like closing your heart down. And you're also being told to be very yes and no. This actually seems like two contradictory messages, but actually there's like, for some reason, Spirit is giving me this feeling where it's like, oh, this works perfectly for you, because it actually gives your heart the space to be open by saying no, by closing some people out, by even letting the past relationships go. It allows you to open your heart more, which has been more shy. It just feels like I'm more insecure about my own feelings. I'm more like want to cover up my heart. And I just want to say that the more you assert yourself with your voice expression, the more your heart is able to breathe, because you're standing up for yourself in so many ways that you haven't been able to really do before, and you're being called to do that now. So I hope that that reading was really enlightening for you. I hope that this helps you out the month of July and throughout the summer. I'll be giving these readings, energy forecasts, monthly, and so subscribe. You can get a private reading if you email me. I do psychic, mediumship, spirit guide readings, and if you want to be on the newsletter, I also do live psychic and mediumship readings on my YouTube channel, so you can go back and click around and see how those work. So in order to know when I'm doing those, I'm not able to give notifications through YouTube yet, or whatever. So if you subscribe, that would be helpful. But if you enter your email onto my email list, I can always just let you know when I'm going to be doing them, so you can come, or send friends who have lost, friends or family members who have lost someone, who are grieving. It's so helpful. I hope that this was helpful. Thank you for viewing. Namaste.